I led the Drawing Lines project here in Austin, Texas, and with me here today are project artists Carrie and Michael Anthony Garcia. The project worked by embedding artists all over the city of Austin. The objective was for the project artists to create something with residents that told a story about their new districts. The project was born out of political transformations that were happening within the city. Could you advance the slides? Thank you. The project was born out of political transformations that were happening within the city. In 2012, the citizens of Austin voted to change from an at-large system of local government to one based on geography. These changes came about when both minorities and conservatives both felt that their voices weren't being heard on city council. To remedy this, a citizen committee was formed to create new districts, paying special attention to creating districts that had a majority of minority voices. The Drawing Lines project was born out of these transformations. At its heart, it had a core question: what role can art play in the context of these historic political changes? As an urban planner, I so often see the city in terms of maps and statistics. But the Drawing Lines project taught me a new way to see the city, through the eyes of the artist. And I'm going to let Michael and Carrie tell you about their work so that you can see what I mean.
Hello, my name is Michael Anthony Garcia. I'm a multidisciplinary artist, independent curator, and co-founder of Los Outsiders Curatorial Collective, which produced a project for Drawing Lines in District 1 called Person, Place, Thing. Initially, we approached the idea of place through video and photos that we live tweeted our exploration of the district through the public transportation routes. Then we examined the idea of things and in the process connected individuals in the district by creating photo collages of images of people's cherished belongings. And then finally, we captured the essence of people through photographic portraiture. All of these elements coming together in an exhibition. I sincerely feel that our project helped us connect in a profound way with the people, the places, and the things in our district that enrich our community and change not only our perspectives, but those of the participants as well.
Hello, my name is Carrie Kenny, and I worked in District 2 with documentary filmmaker Deb Eskenazi. For our project, Deb focused on the built environment in District 2, while I focused on the people. I set up a mobile portrait booth and was able to photograph over 900 individuals. Then I mailed each person a copy of their portrait, regardless of whether or not they wanted to be in the final Drawing Lines exhibition. Amazingly, over 90% said yes to being in that final show. To me, that was incredible to have that much participation. And in that last show, it felt like looking at each portrait, it said, "Look at me, see me, I am part of this community."
To truly be civically engaged, we have to love where we live. We have to love our cities and our communities enough to change them and make them better. But so often in our political discourse, it's characterized by stereotypes and statistics. And the problem is you can't love a statistic. This is where art comes in. The Drawing Lines artists went beyond statistics to give us something more personal, something we could love. As we stood there in the final exhibit, we could begin to take in the complexity of Austin, through the faces, the poetry that the artists had brought together. But we didn't have to take a political position, even though we were standing there and looking at the city in terms of its newly drawn lines. All we had to do was to look at the city in terms of that the artist brought to us. And in doing that...
And Ashley, since you start this time.
That'd be great. Can you talk a little bit about how this might be replicable and what you might see as sort of the next step if you were to continue this type of project?
Yeah. This project, the Drawing Lines project, was a one-time project. It was done in response to the political transformations that were happening within the city in 2012. What we learned, though, we were very fortunate. It was Art Place America who we received funding from for the project. In parallel to that, there was another project going on in the town, Think East. What that did was it created a capacity to really look at creative placemaking within the city of Austin, both by working with all the artists And by creating a larger conversation, now we're looking at in the city of Austin, how do we not do these very large projects, but how do we do those micro-scale projects that are going to bring it down to the community level, where artists can be embedded in the community, not just making things that are beautiful, but that vertically integrate and really look at the structural issues that are inherent in the issues in our community.
Can you talk about the curation of the artists themselves? Was that something that, on one hand, you're looking for people already producing art in some of these districts that you wanted to show art about? I'd be curious about that. And then also where the political organizing happening around this districting project, where that may or may not have intersected with the organizing you're trying to do around this project.
Yeah, they're two excellent questions. The question of which artist, which district was not an easy one, and it wasn't a simple formula at all. We worked a lot with community advisors to help us understand and frame the question. What we did was we put out a call to local artists, and in that we specified that they first needed to be excellent artists. They also needed to have experience working with community. We wanted a wide spectrum of artists in terms of media and discipline. And then what we did was we did not have artists from each and every district. But what we did was we had a lunch, which was wonderful, with all the council members. They were new. We were able to get 9 out of 10. And the council members met the artists met the council members, and we talked with which artists should be in which district. For the most part, the great majority of artists were working in districts in which they lived. And then in terms of how does it interface with the political organizing around that, each artist entered into their community engagement in a different and specific way, according to them as artists and their medium and the district they were in. Most often they worked with the newly elected council members to understand and gain that first entry. After that, it was a great deal of exploration. Carrie and Deb, they camped out at Dove Springs Rec for months. That was the heart of the community. And that's where they found they needed to be.
Something that I think is bothering me a little bit is that it seems that it was sort of the artist's vision, and I think that first gentleman spoke that it was kind of working with community to create this vision, but it was really seemed it was really driven by the artist, and I'm wondering how the community's own creativity was involved in the process in creating, the final works. How did this project tap into and draw from their strength and knowledge and artistic expression?
Yeah, each artist had a different strategy, again, according to themselves as artists and the communities that they were working with. Many of the artists, one of the things that you will see, that you can see up in the park just north of where we are, was artist Haruko Nomura. She worked with people to draw, to write out their wishes on origami paper. Craig collected thousands of those and created an installation that was lit over a bridge right at dusk that the council member, we walked over it together. Each artist, it did engage the community in their own way. Sometimes that was working with them. Carrie and Deb worked together. They created these incredible videos along with the portraits that really got at the stories that were the essence of what that district had been experiencing over the last few decades. So it was all very individual.
Thank you.
Thanks.